trapped his own rook.
He missed it. He completely missed the shot.
This was the opening move from Magnus Carlsen in this thrilling game played in the summer of 25 Esports World Cup semi-final. And look over on the left here, clock times, it's an Armageddon. Meaning Hikaru's down on time, but if he draws with the black pieces, it counts as a win. One of them goes on to face Alireza in the final. You may remember the result, you may not. Let's enjoy some great chess here. Magnus now plays the English, he's Norwegian, he's playing the American, they're in Saudi Arabia, it's all going on. And look at this, it's absolutely awesome. A mainline King's Indian defence played by Hikaru. What's Magnus got up his sleeve here? Well, he goes absolutely mainline. Both players do. Knight dropping back. And before you can say, show me your pointy bayonet, Magnus sets up this bayonet pawn structure. If you ever play it over the board, be careful of this pawn. It is sharp. I've seen players cut their fingers, blood everywhere. It's not what you want in a chess club. Now we see pawn a5, and it plays to undermine the control of c5. You know, white wants this. No time for a3, of course. So this is played. You can recapture with the rook. Very often that knight's then spinning round. But not this game. Hikaru immediately advances that c-pawn. Obviously we're itching to take on Croissant, but it's not so hot here. You give black some very nice dynamic play. Maybe d5 coming one day. So in the game, Magnus gains space. What an absolute boss. Now the pawn's recaptured. We get Chewbacca's favourite move, the Wookiee one. Knight e8's on the board. We call this a nay stack in the business. And it prepares to unleash the f-pawn. Hikaru roaring like a mighty chess lion in the face of Magnus's rook lift. We know he loves to do it. Now we see this knight hopping to g5, and it's taking advantage of the fact that the f-pawn's pushed. You never went pawn h6, which often black does to prepare the f-pawn push, but not played in this game. This is what Hikaru's got planned. He covers the square twice, and he's saying, fine, get your bits out, Magnus. I'm then going to kick back your horsey. This is how the game went. Magnus has got nothing better to retreat. And I'd really love to have seen how Magnus would have handled things if Hikaru had played this. Wasn't played this game. We're in the back cave here, analysis mode. You know, this is the classic King's Indian pawn storm. White's going to try and defend on the light squares. Go for counterplay here on the queen side. Different game, right? Very exciting stuff. Not played. Instead, Hikaru drops back to a6 with the rook, preempting some issues on the diagonal from the bishop. However, it allows Magnus to now do this. Pawn takes on f5. And he's breaking up this pawn side, king side pawn storm a little bit. Surely now you recapture like this. I mean, everyone in his chess dog's doing that. If you play the King's Indian, Hikaru doesn't do it. He wants to rotate a knight into d4. Also very understandable, but everyone's itching for the pawn storm. Didn't get played. Magnus laser beams that king side. This knight now spins around. Its job is done. h3, bishop d7, and Magnus centralises the knight. Very natural square. This one hits the promised land. All of Hikaru's bits are now out. Queen c2. We see these ones get chopped off the board. Bishop recaptures and the queen comes streaming out. All of the black pieces now playing. And when you run this with an engine, white always has the edge. You've got the space. You've got the stronger bishop compared to this one. But black's always got tricks up the sleeve. This square could get dangerous. If the knight moves, the pawn drops. So that's why bishop c3. Not only adding a second defender to the d4 square, but laterally covering the f2 pawn. g5 now from Hikaru, and it's getting exciting. Magnus responds with rook b1. You could go for this, but it's not enough. Takes, your knight's hanging, your pawn's hanging. So you do have to do something about that b pawn. g4's on the way, and that's why Magnus plays knight h2, rotating to attack the queen. Now we've got to ask, what if pawn h5, just looking to storm the barricades? Well, then you can play for this counterplay on the queen side, something like this, but you can literally just ignore everything that black's doing on the king side and just keep pushing p. And it's the white counterplay that comes much faster, something like this, and you have to start giving pieces to actually stave things off. One sample line. So this isn't quite working. In the game, rook fa8 therefore, not the best. What was an immediate knight d4, okay, this is how things went. Keeping an eye on the pawn push. Magnus hits the queen. Will we see a Botez gambit? Not today. Hikaru spots it. Magnus plays queen d3. Let's back it up, because in this position you can see the bar rise. There was actually, excuse me, got some hay fever allergy stuff, an amazing tactical shot here for white. The move is bishop takes on e3. Now bishop takes is best, and this is the point. Switcheroo along the third, and the knight's actually dropping because it's pinned to the queen. It's a clean piece that you're about to win back, plus you won a pawn. So that was the shot. Missed. This was played. Knight d4, taking with the bishop is best, but Magnus rotates, and now it is absolutely game on. Taking with the bishop and winning this pawn is the best move, for the simple reason that this rook stays defending the b pawn. In the game, however, rook takes on a4 was played, and it allows takes, rook recaptures, and this pawn now drops. A huge pawn. You're into the base of the chain now. You could get to the 7th, the 8th. It's really tricky for black. Rook a3 was played. Classic devilishly tricky Hikaru, threatening, say you hit the 7th, bang, bang, and check. Go into Forktown. So this is why Magnus gets out the forking way with king f1, covers the knight jump. Rook a2, threatens mate in 1. By the way, look at the clocks. Magnus only about a minute or so ahead now. This knight drops back and covers the mate. And the best move is bishop f5 or g4. Looks very promising. I mean, I'm surprised really Hikaru didn't play that. Instead, he plays a blunder. Bishop a4. I mean, we've not seen a move that bad since both players forgot to actually put on their clothes for the Speed Chess Championship interview. Possibly this is grok and not the actual interview, but let's crack on with the game here. No one knows what I'm on about, least of all me. Why is this a blunder? Looks natural. Hit the knight, remove the defender of the f2 pawn, checkmate the king. We're about to see... Sorry, that's the wife WhatsApping. Let's silence that. Don't want to be talking to the wife. Just kidding. She doesn't watch these videos anyway, not unless she needs to get sleep. Queen b1 is the incredible move. And the point is, you're attacking the rook, but there's a second threat. Rook b8, winning the queen. And that's the problem. You can't fight against both issues at once. So this was played. Queen takes the rook. Now queen f4. Magnus is an exchange ahead, but Hikaru's still banging on the door, trying to do some weird stuff. Queen b1's a great move. Sorry, we first get this. Now the queen back. Defends the bishop. Hits the black bishop. And if you try and sneak in, well, you're actually getting mated. A mate in 5. Here's a sample line. Or say you stay with the bishop. Then the queen comes in. This is the big problem. Where does the king go? And you get mated. Or like that. Pick your poison. So we don't see the queen step in. Instead, a check was played. King g1 now covers that queen invasion square. Hikaru wins a pawn. Bishop takes. Magnus simplifying. He just needs to hold on here and he should be winning this game, barring any tricks. He's an exchange up, plus attacking the black king. The bishop's about to drop. You've interrupted the defense. So king g8, g3, queen f3, looks all the same, but no. Watch this. Bishop e6 check, and it's mate in 7 or mate in 5, depending where you go. King g7's mate in 7. This is mate in 5 after queen g6 and Hikaru resigns the game. You're about to mate on the g8 square, or you take like this if the queen ever moves. Yes, you can check, but the king steps away. Even here, I guess. No, don't step here. This starts getting weird. I suppose you lose or draw, but you step to h2 and you're dead safe. You're getting mated. There's nothing to do but stupid moves like this. So Magnus won the Armageddon, went through to the final versus Alireza. In case you missed that one and you don't know what happened, I'll link that video on screen. Do check out Lotus Chess. It's truly incredible. Learn your openings, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.